Okay, we are going to show you some demonstrations. So when you're looking for the material for all your types of different connectors and plugs, they're going to be in this toolbox in the front, top, and they might have some left over inside. So just be aware, we will have everything labeled the best that we can for this type of termination assessment. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually punch down some data locations for both data Cat 6 and 5E, and then for the 66 block for our voice connections. So bear with me, I'm going to put you down so you can see what I'm actually working on, and we'll move some stuff out of the way. So the first one that we're going to do is this is a Cat 6 cable. Your punch downs are capable of any type of Cat 6, Cat 5e. The electronics are going to be a little bit different between the two, but the termination part is going to be the same. So when we get into testing, you'll see the difference in the actual different levels. So the first one we're going to do is this is a Cat 6 cable. I was talking about the isolation in between the actual pairs. That's what this is all about. This is a pull string. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this through. And you'll be using a longer cable because you got to have at least a minimum of 20 feet to do the testing. So right now, mine is just like 4 feet. So when you do yours will be at least 20 feet long. So for your Cat 5e and Cat 6 cable, make sure you use the longer ones. So then when we go through the testing part of this, that you can actually see your results. Otherwise, you'll still see results, but they'll be a little skewed. Okay. So what we're going to do is inside here, we're going to cut off. And normally what you can do is if you cut this off, you can use your pull string and just pull that down to get your insulation off. Once you have it down to the proper level or length that you're looking at, we cut off this insulation. So, and you can also use your score and score the actual cable and break it off this way. So we're gonna take the pull string off. We are going to get rid of this isolation holder. You want to be careful so you don't nick your conductors. All right, and then on your punch down tool, come on, get off of there. We're going to have wiring scheme. It's going to talk about 568A and B wiring here as well. Okay, so we're going to be using, since it's data, we're going to be using B. All right, so we'll follow in this scheme. All right, so on jack number 1, and this is the back. I just have it in here. This is what the front looks like. So 1. So this is how it normally sits in here. So I'm just flipping it over so we can actually punch it down properly. And that way it's gonna, sit in there nice. So we'll be using number 1. We're gonna use 568B wiring. So that's our scheme. So the first conductor is when we go down here is you want your insulation about halfway in between the first one and the last one, okay? And then we'll separate these conductors out. So the first one we'll use is the white blue and blue white. And if you have fingernails, that works good right here. And our first one we'll punch down. White blue. And I'm just setting them in there right now before we actually punch them down. They come out. So I kind of do a reverse twist when we need to. and you have the different posts that you kind of divide. And I'll show you this once we're done here, how it looks before I punch it down, because they don't like to stay in there until you punch them down. And once again, this all, once you practice, you'll get really good at it. So now here I have this. Now taking a look at this, this one's a little bit long. The rest look really good, so I'll tighten this one up a little bit before I punch it down. You want to maintain your twist. That's where your data speeds come into play. Alright, so now I got them all in there. Now you grab your punch down tool, which mine is underneath there, and you make sure your cutting blade, okay, your tool, okay, it says cut. So you're going to be cutting that side, cut right there. So that's going to be on our outside. So you kind of put a little pressure on your conductors, and you're going to just punch down like so. I'm going to do it a couple times. And as you're punching down, you're going to pull on with your left hand, and they're going to come off. All right. So instead of having wires all over, what I usually do is just kind of coil them up so they're easy to pick up when you're done. And this is what this end of your patch cord is going to look like. Okay. The other end is going to be your jack. Okay. So I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to leave some slack in here, so I'm just going to score the end. I won't terminate this, just so I can get to that pull string. So right there, here's the pull string. So I'm going to pull down so we have a proper, length to do some good terminating. And I'll cut this off again, and you can score this as well. I just find it easier this way. And we're going to cut this divider out. So here's our jack. Here is our cap. All right, and I showed you the wiring diagram, so we'll be using 568B wiring for our data. Okay, so we'll be using the bottom one there. All right, so once I have that, I kind of twist them off so I can get actually in the slots. So the twists are going this way, so I'll go reverse, just so I can get them through the divider on the actual jack. You want to eliminate all the twists, because like I said, the twists are what maintains your speed. Alright, so this is how I'm going to do this. On this one, it'll be white blue, so it's going to be white blue, blue white, and then it'll be white orange, orange white. Alright, so I kind of do the back ones first. So I'll do the left side first, and once again, you get your insulation as far up there. Kind of have to open up the twists. Okay, that one's in there. Now we'll do the orange. And like I said, they're going to come in and out. It's going to just take a little bit of practice, kind of putting pressure in. We'll do the so that's what this side will look like. and we'll punch those down. So I'm kind of just going to leave that hang like that so they don't fall out. And we'll go up here and get our white brown in these slots. Now they do make other termination tests or termination jack equipment that's more user friendly, but for our purposes I want you to show you the old way so you can see how it's all done. And I got them in there, some are still popping out, so that's what it looks like. And I'll put my finger over there, that's your scheme. Now if we're using, see how you have two different colors. If we're using the A wiring, instead of having white green back here, it'd be the white orange pair. Alright, once I have that in there, I'm going to punch it down like I did the patch panel. So set it down on a nice hard surface, make sure your cutting device is out. And there's no difference between this and a Cat 5e or Cat 6e jack. The only difference is your jacks, how they're manufactured, and your cable that you're using. So you can see they're all punched down there. Looks like so. Alright. And then what we have is we have a cap. Alright. And this just helps secure the wires inside the jack so that they don't pop out. And that goes on like so. You just push down. That's your terminated jack. Now I have that, and this is going to go into the faceplate. So your faceplate shows an up arrow. Alright, so you always want your terminals up, so it's going to go like this. And snap into place, just like so. And then we're going to do another one. We'll do two of these, and a Cat 6. We'll do one of each, and then we're going to do a coax. So you're going to do one Cat 5e, one Cat 6, just like this. And the Cat 6, I don't care what colors. We have different colors. Doesn't really matter which colors you're using, as long as you're aware of what size this. So I'll stop with that, and then I'll start up the video on the voice side.